welcome back.
This is the Knitter's Gotta Knit podcast, stitch number 18, and we have a special guest. It's 18.
Yep. Peyton has finally joined us.
Yay!
But we are back from our vacation, and Peyton is back from her vacation. So tell us what you did on your vacation, Peyton.
I went to Orlando, Florida, and I went to Disney World and Disney Universals.
Wow.
So,
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
how was the flight?
I was scared at first, like right as I walked in. If you've ever been on a plane, you know, like right as you're walking down the aisle to go in that plane, in the plane where the door opens to
The
go
walk
in the
of
plane.
death?
Yes, that. You feel there's a small space, and I'm claustrophobic. There's a small space to where you need to walk in, and right as I walked in, I was like, nope, I can't do this. I know I can't turn back now, but I can't do this. So I just kept walking, and once I reached my seat, I got the window seat on our way there. Okay, and then and it was scary at first because when we started taking off, it was like super shaky. And then when we started flying up, there was a lot of turbulence because there was a storm coming in and it was super windy. So there was a lot of turbulence. But right as we got a little way away from the airport, right as we were like in the sky in the clouds, it was really cool because you could see all the clouds under us. And, like, it was just cloud on top of cloud on top of cloud everywhere. All you could see was white and the
That's kind of cool looking, huh?
Yeah.
Did the stewardess, waitresses, whatever, the flight attendants, did they get on to you for texting your mother?
No, actually.
They didn't?
Oh, that's good.
So, that's good.
But I texted Mama, like, right as we were flying up and, like, right as we got in the air.
I didn't even know you could text on
You're
a flight.
not supposed to. Well, you can, but...
Like, I didn't know it would work.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's what I meant by
Okay.
I didn't know you can do it.
So what was your favorite thing at Disney?
I think, taking pictures with the, Disney princesses.
Peyton sent me a picture of this one princess, and I was like, is that, I thought it was Jasmine, and she was like, that's Eileen, or Ellen, or Elaine, or Elaine.
Elena.
Elena
like,
of Avalor. If y'all have daughters that are, like, 2 and up to, like, 6 or my age, you'll know who Elena of Avalor is.
I know who Elena of Avalor
I did
is.
not. I told Peyton, I said, who is that? And she was like, that's Elena. I was like, oh, who's Elena? And she was like, it's a new princess. And I told Bruce, I said, oh, there's a new princess. I didn't know anything.
Do you want me to send the rest of the pictures that I have to Kate, to Granny, and then she can send them to you to put them in the podcast?
Yeah, I can put them up.
But it was, I'm glad you had a good time. And it sounds like Trenton had a good time. Lots of walking.
Lots of walking. My feet were dead by the end of it.
Wow.
So, but...
And when we went to Universal, we went on this water ride.
Mm-hmm.
You know that water ride where like you're sitting in a thing that looks like a log circle,
Yeah.
and you go in there under those waterfalls and those drops.
Mm-hmm.
We went on one of those,
Uh-huh.
and then I was soaked because I was on the side that always gets wet.
Of course.
And yeah, I did not know that was the side that always gets wet because they had me get on last.
Oh, okay.
So everyone avoided that seat. They're like, Peyton, come sit right here. Peyton, come sit right here. And I was like, okay. And I thought, this is weird. They never give me a seat that's like that. They usually tell me to sit somewhere on the sides, not on the back.
So they intended for you to get wet?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then when we were going down, I got soaked.
Really?
It was super wet. And then when we went, we went on another water ride, I'm pretty sure. I think it was another water ride. But it wasn't a water ride. I can't talk today. We went to the Simpsons Universal, and there was this fire hydrant that shot out water, and I laid down in the middle of where that fire hydrant was, and I got all wet. And when we got back to the hotel that night, my feet literally looked like prunes.
I bet, because they were soaking wet.
Mm-hmm. and why did you be like that? And then and then I texted my mom a picture of my feet, and I was like, Mama, my feet are like this, and she was like, they look like Oma feet, and Oma is my grandma. And I was like, Mama, that's just not nice. But it's funny, but not nice. She was like,
well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yes.
So we had a good time on ours. We got to spend some time with Casey and Uncle Casey and Cecilia, and got to see Brindley and Kai and Kayla. And
y'all got to see all of them?
Uncle Casey, we went to his house on the night before the cruise, and he cooked us supper and stuff, and then he took us to the ship the next day. And then he picked us up from the ship, and well, he also made us breakfast the next morning.
He did. That was delicious too.
So,
well, everything Uncle Casey cooks is delicious.
Yeah, it was good. So it was nice to see them, and then we had a good time on our trip. We got over with way too quick.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed the cruise. I'd like to do another one like tomorrow. Even though that's not going to happen, I'd like to do another one very soon.
I was telling Peyton that I think I had really high expectations of the food, just because everybody always talks about how amazing cruise food was, and I can't think of anything that I ate that I would say was amazing. I was pretty, I guess, kind of disappointed in the food. So,
yeah, well, but you're also a good cook, and you cook all the time and stuff. So for somebody like me, who gets fast food, or has chips for dinner, or crackers and sausage, doesn't eat good food a whole lot, I really enjoyed it because it was like this big buffet of food for me. And there were a couple of evening dinners that I liked, and the desserts I thought were very good too. But of course, I'm a dessert person.
Well, the egg, like the buffet in the mornings, because we ate breakfast buffet too. I think every single morning the eggs were cold. I cannot stand cold eggs.
My eggs weren't cold. My eggs were always warm.
Mine were like ice cold. So
that sounds disgusting.
It was.
It's like after when I spend the night with you, and then after 2 hours, or an hour or so, I want more eggs, so I just go and steal them off the pan with my fingers, and they're cold.
But I mean, it was fun. I guess I think that was my biggest disappointment though, because I don't know what I was expecting. Because you just hear all the time about cruise food, how amazing it is, and I honestly didn't think it was amazing. I thought the cruise was amazing, but I didn't think the food was amazing.
We were in line one morning at the buffet, and we get to the bacon tray. And mind you, this is a huge tray.
It's big.
Stacked of bacon. Darlene's right next to me. She goes, Carrie, you can't take the whole tray. I'm like, watch me.
And it was,
I love bacon.
And it was cooked good. I don't like bacon that's I want to say half cooked. I don't like it when it's floppy. I want it to be crispy.
Oh, I don't like crispy bacon.
You like the floppy kind? Blah. And so the bacon on the cruise, it was crispy. It was good. It was cooked good.
It was cooked good.
Yeah,
I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it a lot. I did too.
So.
That's why when we're at your house and we have blueberry muffins and eggs and bacon for dinner, I don't get the bacon.
See, Darlene cooked. Did you hear what they had for dinner?
For breakfast. Oh, she meant breakfast.
Breakfast?
But
yeah. We don't have that in my house. Poor Antonio.
Really?
He's a deprived grandchild.
So, but.
It was funny. When we came back from the cruise, I watch Antonio on the weekends. I think you guys all know that. And we made it back in time so I could watch Antonio. And, of course, Paige had told him that I was gone all week. Well, I don't usually see Antonio all week. So if she just wouldn't have told him I was gone,
he never would have known.
I'm sure he would have been fine. But because he knew I was gone, she said every single day, he was crying for me. I want to go to Grandma's house. I want to go to Grandma's house. I want to go to Grandma's house. So he was finally at Grandma's house. I got him Friday, and he stayed Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And on Sunday afternoon, he fell asleep, which he doesn't usually take a nap or anything, but he had fallen asleep. And it was getting a little bit later in the afternoon, and I thought, well, he's not going to go to bed, for school or whatever, so I better wake him up. So I started to wake him up. And, he's kind of out of it, when you first wake up and you don't know what's going on, and he kind of looks at me. And I said, baby, it's time to get up. You can't keep sleeping or you're not going to go to bed tonight for school tomorrow. And he kind of looks at me and he starts crying. And I said, what is the matter? Why are you crying? And he says, I want to go to Grandma's house. Just like automatically, because he'd been crying all week. And I said, you are at Grandma's house. You've been at Grandma's house.
That's
I'm
funny.
Grandma. It was just kind of cute. I had said that to I told Paige that, and she said he literally asked for you every day. And I said, next time just tell him I'm gone.
Don't tell him.
Yeah, because it was a Monday to a Friday, and I don't usually see him. I mean, if Paige is working late one day, she might text me and see if I'm busy and say, can you just, can you go get him? And then she'll pick him up from my house because I'm literally like a mile and a half from the daycare. So it's really close. But I usually don't see him all week long. I see him, from Friday to Sunday. So it was just kind of funny as he's crying for Grandma's house as he's in Grandma's house.
Well, I mean, he's so used to being here on the weekends and stuff.
He is.
Well, my daughter... So
it's bad when you always start with that.
Yeah, she went to the coast because her husband Tim, he works in he does something with he used to be
a lineman.
He used to be a lineman, but now he's an inspector.
He's an inspector of the lines, but he still works on the lines.
Well,
also.
yeah, but he works at the coast because there's still a lot of damage from the hurricanes this past year. And so he's been at the coast for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months. He's still there. So Shyla, it's close enough that Shyla can go and see him, on her days off. If she has several days off in the middle of the week, she goes down there and sees him. Well,
it's
she
like
did.
A 2-hour
she did
drive.
that. Yeah, she did that this past week. And Shyla loves to fish. I don't know where she got her love of fishing because it wasn't from me, and it wasn't from Bruce, and it wasn't from her brother, but she loves to fish. And she was wearing a tank top, and she was fishing, and she cooked.
She takes after her mother and not wearing sunscreen.
But she gripes at me about it. She's like, wear sunscreen. I mean, she gripes at me all the time. And I told her, I said, why didn't you put on sunscreen? And she said, I did after I burnt. And I'm like, that kind of...
That doesn't help.
It doesn't work. And she has these long sleeve fishing shirts because Shyla has really light skin, and she takes after her daddy, and she's had some skin issues and stuff, and so it's not good for her to burn. And she's usually pretty good about it. And she has these fishing shirts and stuff. And I told her, I said, you need to wear your long sleeve fishing shirts when you're fishing. I mean, she
not for pajamas.
Yeah. Like she has on one today, and told her, I said, you need to wear those because she really doesn't need to burn. Like me burning, I know it's not good, but I don't have the skin issues like she has with she takes after her daddy. But
I don't have skin.
Well,
you have a nice tan. It's
nice. Like when I was younger, I heard this story from my mom. I had black hair, which I don't really now, and I had super dark skin, black eyes, and apparently Granny was holding me, and she was like, Sean, did you bring home the right baby? And she called me her little Mexican grandchild for like a year.
Yeah, because all of our other grandkids had blonde hair and blue eyes, and and Trenton's kind of got red hair, and
literally,
and then this one was like black hair and dark brown eyes, and I was like, she just didn't look like a York. And she looked like a York baby.
She looked like the mailman.
She looked like her. She looked like her daddy.
and I've kind of got lighter hair now, but that's because my mom has highlighted my hair a lot. So
yeah, I would like to keep that to yourself because since your daddy is oblivious to your hair, it's like he
doesn't like when my mom highlights my hair.
But
I'm just not making him a happy camper.
So, what are you knitting on?
I am knitting on my podcast knitting, which is these Harry Potter Night Bus socks that I always pull them out when it's time to podcast. I'll probably never finish them, but I wonder how many podcasts it'll take for me to, finish them. But
I say like 2 or 3.
Oh no, it's already been 2 or 3.
Kind of like my hat I work on, my podcast hat.
But you have a lot done on that
I have.
since the last time that we podcast.
I really have, and I worked on it some. I didn't work on it on the cruise, but I think I worked on it going to Houston and coming home, and I worked on it at Casey's house, and I've worked on it, kind of tried to work on it a little bit every day this week. I want to get it finished. I just want to be done with it, but this is Casey's sockhead hat.
I'll take a picture and also insert it, but it's got a lot done.
I think the last time we podcast, not the cruise podcast, but the one before, I was still like on the ribbing.
I think you might have been. I think you might have been.
Maybe we can all go rewatch that podcast and see.
Maybe.
But I kind of try not to work on these outside of the podcast, just so I have them. You know, I know I could start something else, but
I kind of want to start a pair of socks to have. When I get finished with this, I think I'll start a pair of socks to work on, because I would like to make a pair, even though I'm not a sock knitter. I kind of like to have a pair in the works.
Yeah, I enjoy it for like just mindless plain knitting. So, but I guess we'll jump into some whips since we already started talking about these other ones. What we did work on the cruise is our rugged coats, which I think we started shortly before the cruise. I don't remember.
So we both took like 5 projects each to work on, and literally the only thing I worked on the entire cruise was my rugged coat. I could have only taken that, and it would have like cut down on
a lot of
luggage and
carry-on and everything.
But that was literally the only thing I worked on for the whole 5 days.
I mostly worked on just
I was trying to like get some headway on it, and we were enjoying it.
There's a white thing flashing on the camera.
Yeah, it's like the time. It's going to tell me that the time is.
We were enjoying working on it, and we wanted to try to make some headway, and we did. And Carrie's actually farther along than I am, but since she's got to work on socks all weekend, I'm hoping that I can get caught up to her. But go ahead and show yours, Carrie, and then I'll show.
So this is mostly all that I worked on during the cruise, but I also worked on my cruise yarn kits, the item that I'm making with my cruise yarn, so I could say that I was working on it while on the cruise. But so I have a picture already taken that I'll insert, but it's just a front, 2 fronts and a back. So I've got to get the back equal to the fronts, and then I think we like join them in the underarm. The underarm will be the side here. So.
And here's mine.
The same thing, but different colors.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And Carrie is a lot farther than I am. Carrie was farther along at the beginning of the cruise than I was. So, naturally she's just a faster knitter than I am, but
I really am not.
But
I knit more hours than she does.
But so I'm hoping that by the end of the weekend I'm at least, it's upside down, I think, right?
No, it's right side up. It's just the back hasn't been knit down.
So I'm hoping that I can get the back. I want to at least.
This is the back, and it gets knit down this way.
Yeah. I want to try to get caught up with Carrie this weekend. This is already Saturday. That might not happen, but here's hoping.
I'll snap a picture.
But I have been enjoying it. I'm not real happy with my stitches that I picked up. I think it looks kind of sloppy.
I think it looks fine,
but it's
she's
just
a much harder critique on her knitting.
I was just looking at that. Looks really weird right there, but it's just going to have to stay the way it is. I'm not going to go back, and I'm not redoing it. So
I'm enjoying it. We enjoyed it on the cruise, and it's a different construction, and I'm anxious to both to get the back even with the front, so we can join them up and then see how it goes.
It's a confusing pattern. I think I'm enjoying it now. I didn't really enjoy the increase rows and stuff on the front. It was, I thought it was maybe one of the harder designs of a sweater that we've done. And I think we've done some complicated sweaters.
It's different.
So
it's definitely different.
It hasn't been my favorite thing by far. But I took Shannon's sweater on the cruise because I had every intention of working on it, and I never even pulled it out of the bag. And so I'm about 12 days behind on Shannon's sweater, and I really should put the rugged coat away and just work on this, but
I hope Shannon doesn't watch
you
these.
don't. But I have a schedule to be finished with this by May 19th. I'm probably not going to make that, but I figure if I can make it by the end of summer, he's not going to need it right now.
He's not going to need it May 19th, that's for sure.
So if I may have Carrie redo the schedule and make it to where I'm done by the end of, say, end of August. Be done with it by the end of August. That way he can have it in September. It starts getting cold in Amarillo around the August-September time frame. And I think he don't need it right now. But I am about almost half done with the, well, not quite half done with the back. But I think according to my schedule, I am almost 45% done.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
So I, as long as I finish it by the end of summer, that's really what that's my new goal, is to be finished with it by the end of summer. So
that'll be a perfect goal.
And if this one don't fit him,
he's not getting it.
He's not. If this one don't fit him, then I'm like, then it's just not meant for me to make him a sweater. But I think this one will fit him. I'm making it smaller than I made the other one, and I can block it bigger because this yarn blocks like crazy. So
because that's the last yarn that you used, also.
Yes, it is. Do what?
Did the other one fit him?
No, the other one was, the sleeves were about 5 inches too long, and the body was too big. So, but it fit Uncle Billy perfect. The sleeves were just a little bit too long for Billy, but he was fine with it. But they were like way too long for Shannon. I didn't realize how much bigger my brother is than my nephew. I thought that they were like similar.
They look similar.
They do, but they're not. So it worked out because Billy got a sweater and now Shannon's going to get this one. And I do think this one has a better chance of fitting him because this is the same size as the one I made Bruce.
And Bruce's fit him,
and Bruce's fit Shannon, but it was a little bit too big for Bruce. And then so Bruce gave that sweater to Casey, and it fits Casey perfect.
Well, it looks like you hit 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, hoping. And then the only other thing I brought this because I want to finish this. I kind of wish I would have taken this on the cruise and only this because I think it would be finished now, but then my coat wouldn't be started, so, But this is my Find Your Fade, and I really love this, and I want to finish it. So
it's amazing. I'm
going to bring this every podcast, and maybe that will make me get it out because I love the yarn. I love everything about it. I just haven't had time to work on it, and I
love everything about it.
I haven't made it a priority, and I just need to make it a priority because
it has so much done already.
It is, and I love it. And the thing about, I know this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but even though we are in South Texas, we're actually getting into the time of year that we wear our shawls at work.
Because they freeze us out of work.
Our building is so cold in the summer. We actually wear our shawls more in the summer than we do in the winter. Because in the winter, the building can get kind of warm.
Because they kick the heat on.
Yeah.
And then, in the afternoon, it kind of can get overly warm because you got all the bodies.
So I know that since this, summer is fastly approaching, I'm going to use this a lot at work. So I want to finish it. So I'm going to keep it out and even if I just do a couple of rows every day, I want to get it done.
It will amazingly get done.
It will.
You just a couple of rows here and there.
Yeah.
It's so close to being finished.
So
it
should have been done months and months and months ago, but so it's gonna get done soon, I hope.
The only other thing I worked on during the cruise, and I did it because I wanted to be able to say that I worked on this while on the cruise, because it's the yarn from the cruise kit. So I bought the yarn and the bag, which I believe we've shown you, but I did not buy the class where they were taking a class on the cruise. Neither did Darlene.
I bought the yarn and I haven't even caked it.
And so, but I wanted to make something with the yarn, so I picked the Free Your Fate pattern, which is an Andrea Mowry pattern, and it's, you know, one of those, you know, same type of shawls. It's not like the shape of your fade, but instead of fading it, I'm just changing the colors, kind of like the schema of the kit shawl, because they showed us pictures of like the color scheme of the kit shawl that they did the class for. So I'm just kind of going to change it up a little bit.
And we actually thought that when we bought the kits that we would get the pattern after the class, and that turned out to not be the case, which is a little frustrating.
Yeah, it was, but I'm kind of glad I'm doing this. I mean, I think the other one has a little bit more texture that I think would have been fun, but, you know, all in all, you know me, mindless knitting is so much easier, and this is so much garter and some eyelets.
Is it supposed to be like a longhorn,
it is
knitting type?
No, but the color kind of matches a little bit, so I try and match my project bag with the colors.
Yeah,
but this one's kind of close.
Since it had like the longhorn bag, it would be like a longhorn knitting.
So this bag isn't the kit bag. This is a Bags Blossom granny bag. And I'm a huge
all
longhorn.
bags are
all my bags are Bags Blossom granny bags. And
you should go check out her shop.
And I've had this one for years because I'm a huge Longhorn fan, and she made this for me years ago. But I try and match my project with at least one of my yarns.
And matches pretty good.
It doesn't match the pink, but it kind of matches the orangish, brownish color. So, so it's not meant to be a Longhorn thing. It was just the bag that kind of matched my project.
I did bring my temperature blanket. I'm about 3 days, I think, behind on it. But
I'm a little bit more than 3 days. It's so beautiful. It's getting bigger. It's kind of exciting. I mean, I know we're in April, but
and I haven't been happy at all with my ends, the way I wove my ends in. And so I'm trying to do the magic knot. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I hope I am, and I hope this whole thing don't fall apart.
It's all going to come apart.
So, but I do like it better doing the magic knot. I mean, when I pull on it, it feels really secure. So I'm hoping that I'm doing it right. I guess time will tell.
I'm sure you are.
So, but
we've had a lot of orange and green lately. We did have a little cold day the other day that got us to blue, but we're getting a little bit tired of orange and green. Yesterday, one of my weather apps says that we hit 90, but of course I check it today and it says we only hit 87. So I don't know if we're ever going to get to that burnt orange color in the 90s.
I didn't think it got 90 yesterday, but
one of my apps said it did, but you know, of course, another one didn't. And the one that I'm going by.
But I am getting a little tired of this orange and the green, but it is getting bigger, and we both are trying to like stay up on it so that we don't get super far behind.
Very similar.
Well, yours is bigger. Yours looks bigger than mine.
I just realized why they call it a temperature blanket.
It shouldn't be bigger than mine, but it looks bigger than mine.
I don't think it is.
I'm getting covered by blankets. And arms.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe, about 3 or 4 rows. Not by stitch count. I think maybe. Could you believe if mine is looser? Because usually she crochets tighter than I do, and I use you crochet looser, and I crochet tighter. But from the way that this is going, it's like I'm crocheting looser and you're crocheting tighter.
And it's really strange because like the Bernat blankets that we make, I had one that Carrie made and one that I made, and I laid them out together, and they were the exact same number of stitches, the exact same number of rows, the exact same number of stripes. And the one that Carrie made was 8 inches shorter than the one I made.
Because I'm usually much tighter.
Yeah, and so that's why it's kind of, because, I mean, I'm only like 3 days behind on this, but...
I think I'm more than 3 days. I think I'm 5 or 6.
But a friend of ours, Rosanna, she said that last year she made a temperature rug, and she did a set count of stitch. And I kind of, if we ever do this again, I would like to do that.
I think I would like to do it too. I'll insert a picture of what she sent us. It's beautiful.
And she did 48 stitches a day, and it's a round rug. But she said that she wanted something last year that only took her no more than 5 minutes a day to do. And I think that is a
And she said she finished
goal.
on December 31st. She used the high only, not the lows like we're using. She used the high only, and she actually lives in the Houston area. So for the day that Harvey hit, she did one full circle of black. And I think she said she's going to mail it to her weatherman, which I just think is.
You mean she seriously was going to mail it to the weatherman?
I don't. That's what she said, but she says.
Who knows, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what she said. She said she's going to mail it to the weatherman. She says he'll
that's
probably throw
cool.
it away, but I don't think he'd throw it away. But that's what she said.
I would be pissed if he threw it away.
Yeah.
The
So.
weatherman of Ken's 5 came to our school the other day.
Did he?
Oh, that's
Paul?
cool.
Was it Paul?
Palmer.
Or
I
Bill?
think it was Alex. I don't know.
And one of these days, I want to make this. I'm dying to make this.
It's the new Cal, the Holy Locatelli, the new
Do you
Cal,
want
the
me to
fading
show it to the
points.
camera?
So,
Oh.
but
I think lots of people
Yeah.
that are anywhere on Instagram or anything like that.
so I'm dying to make it. I printed the pattern, and who knows, I may end up casting it on, but who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised. I
So.
wouldn't be surprised at all. I would love to make it. I just have so many things on the needles right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
do
I've got
too.
this huge pile of just crap.
Me
over
too.
here.
And then I don't have any finished objects to show. Carrie has some pictures she can insert, but I finished some blankets for the grandkids.
Three crocheted blankets. So there's Brinley's, Kayla's, and Kai's.
And Kai's.
So I'll have all those pictures, and they'll be inserted here, and so you can see them finished. I have a couple more whips. So I'm doing a test. It's not really a test knit, but I do a lot of work sometimes in the Higher Patterns group, and they have a Cal coming up that they kind of wanted me just to test the readability of the pattern. So I'm doing it
And
with
it's been a big old fail.
It has. It has. So I just have one up to the gusset and then one ribbing done. And I have a picture to put in. I'm doing it with my Slothmas yarn from Carrie at Creative Obsession. And with the matching Slothmas bag that Carrie and Darlene did a kit last year. So it's coming out okay. The pattern's a little bit hidden in the variegated, but I love the yarn more than I love the pattern. So
It really is pretty yarn.
hopefully those will be done by the next podcast. It's really just a quick test of the readability of the yarn. And then I think I told you guys a while back that I was doing Sock Madness. And I did the qualifying round, and I gave those socks to my mom. I never got a chance to show them on the podcast except for the picture. I finished round 1, which right before the cruise. I think it was done like 2 days before the cruise. I gave those socks to Rosanna.
They were so pretty, too.
And so I don't have those to show, but I can insert a picture. They had duplicate stitch on it, and it was the hardest thing that I think I've ever done. It took me forever.
Did she try them on? Do you know if they ever fit her?
I don't know. I'm going to have to text her. I don't know if she ever tried it on. I'll have to see if they fit her. But,
they were beautiful, but that duplicate stitch, when Carrie was doing that, I was like, oh, no, I'm not doing that ever.
So the duplicate stitch was of these. It was like these blackberries. We did beads on the sock on the top, like at the cast on, and then you did duplicate stitch afterwards. And I had asked Rosanna what her favorite colors were, and it was like coral and turquoise, or aqua. So I used some yarns like that for the stems and for the leaves and stuff. But it was that duplicate stitch. I think it took me longer to do the duplicate stitch than it took me to knit the socks.
I think
Honestly,
it did too.
That duplicate stitch was just killing me.
It was funny when Carrie was asking her what her favorite colors was, and she was like, I hate green. No kind of green. Didn't she say she hated green?
Yeah, she says I don't like green and bright yellow and a couple others.
And I don't even think she liked orange. And I told Carrie, I said, I don't think we can be her friend.
Because Darlene loves green.
we can't be friends with her.
So, back to Sock Madness. So, I wasn't going to do round 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. The pattern came out. It was a brioche sock. And I thought, I have so many things on the needles. I just don't have time to do these socks. And then I kind of hit a snag in the fingerless mitts. And I kind of needed to wait to hear from somebody. So, of course, I had a billion other things to knit on. But did I do that? No. This one, it's all her fault.
But she sends me the picture and she says, here's the pattern for the next round, and I was like, oh my God, those are awesome. You really need to make those because they are really awesome. And wait till y'all see this sock. It is really awesome.
So that's the pattern. It's called checkbox socks.
And they are awesome. Look at this. See now,
I
isn't that
started
not
this.
awesome?
I started this Thursday, and I have knit on nothing except for this sock. I do not have the second one started, which is very, very, very much unlike me. But I have it. You know, I have the main color and the contrasting color, and if I started this, I didn't bust the cakes out, so if I started the second sock, I would have to go from the inside of the black and the inside of the fluorescent. I would have like 8 ends, like all, or like tied up things, and my yarn would be getting all jumbled up.
It would be a mess.
And it would be a mess, and I'd be doing more yarn management than I would be doing knitting. So I'm going to try and finish these today and get the second one cast on. I have until Friday at 6 p.m. to get these done.
And this sock may be the reason I can catch up my coat to hers, because she's going to have to be working on this for the next week.
Yeah, all week.
But I think it's the coolest. I think it's absolutely amazing.
It's a pretty cool pattern, but it's also pretty big. Brioche is very, very stretchy. So I'm not sure who these socks are going to fit, because they're pretty stretchy and big.
They are.
And you know, there's a requirement as to how long you have to make them and how many repeats in each section. So the bottom is going to have to, you know, have more of these checker box things and checkbox things. So we'll see. We'll see if I finish it or not. I kind of wish I would have started them when they came out, but I waited.
When I told her to.
Yeah, when she told me to. And I said, no, I don't have time to do it anymore. And then I thought, well, let me just see if I can. So I kind of made it harder on myself by starting so late. But
I think they're amazing.
That's all I'm knitting on right now. And that's all I'll be knitting on for like a whole week. And hopefully I'll still have the socks to show you guys, because I haven't had any of the socks to physically show on the podcast. But that's all the whips that I have. But I do have a couple of the finished objects were one of my socks from the Sock Madness, and I've never shown my portage.
Yeah, y'all. This
on
is
the podcast.
Amazing.
So I have some pictures of my daughter wearing them that I can insert, but I love this thing. I wore it on the cruise. I've worn it pretty much every day to work.
It makes me want to get mine back out and finish mine.
And I'm going to make a second one. I'm going to make one for Paige in just all gray. And I absolutely love it. I loved working with Carrie's yarn. It's the greatest yarn. It's a great pattern. I just love everything about it. I love the pockets. It's a lot of mindless knitting with the exception of the pattern on the back.
And that's a lot of back.
It is a lot of back, you know, especially for a size extra large like me. But you know, once that back is done, then it's you know, pretty smooth sailing from there with the sleeves and cuffs and the collar and whatever.
And it looks great on her. I mean,
I love it.
It fits her perfect.
It's my most absolute favorite thing I've ever knit. Probably because it's mine and I love it. And I didn't give it to Paige, but I will make her one. So, I highly recommend the pattern. I highly recommend the yarn. I just highly recommend making this thing. It's just
I just wish the back. I wish the cable on the back was easier to remember, because I mean, to me, it's not that easy.
It's not the easiest thing to remember, but if you worked on just this without a bunch of other whips, it literally is just left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So if you can read your knitting and know what you just knit, then you do the opposite. So
yeah, that would be my problem.
Yeah, a left cable, right cable, left cable, right cable. And I think there's a link in either somebody's project or on the project page to a video of how to do it without a cable needle, so kind of make it a little bit easier. But I just love it. I can't wait to make another one. I really can't wait to make another one.
So you think you'll ever make yourself another one? Or are you just going to make Paige one?
Well, I'm going to make Paige one first, obviously. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I did.
Okay, so I can't believe I'm going to say this. Well, I'm not going to make it, but you can. You should make you a black one.
Oh, I should. Because I wear black all the time. all the time.
Or a gray one. A gray would even work, but you kind of have a gray one.
Yeah, I
You
kinda
should
have
make a
gray.
black one because you would wear it a lot because you
That
wear
would
a
be
lot
even
of black.
that would be even harder with the
oh
cables.
my god, that would
black.
suck. So
But I
good.
do. I wear black
luck with that.
all the time.
Granny
all the time.
Granny hates knitting black.
Granny's not the only one that hates knitting black. Almost every knitter alive hates knitting black.
It's hard to knit
It's just
with.
hard, but it's an amazing color. I mean, it goes. I understand.
It goes with everything.
Okay, as a wearer of things, I understand why people want black. Like, I understand why my daughter wants black. I understand why, Teresa wanted black. But I hate knitting with black.
It is difficult to
Yeah.
knit with, especially if you've got a pattern and then you can't see it, and you got to pull out your headlight. And
As I'm working on this black hat.
yeah,
you know.
sometimes I'm like, I already wear progressives, and sometimes I feel like I need a magnifying glass with like a huge, helicopter lamp, to see what I'm fixing. But
Maybe you could get one. You never
But-
know.
I want to get a new light for my house just because I've gotten to where I use a light on almost everything I knit just because I like it being
lit up,
lit up,
so you
you
can see
know?
it. Hmm.
so
I have an art light next by my knitting chair where I knit at most of the time, and it seems to have done the trick so far. But I'm much more of a mindless knitter than Darlene. Darlene definitely does more patterns than I do, especially with Shannon's sweater and Billy's sweater and Casey's sweater and
Shiloh's sweater and
yeah, everybody's sweater. So
that may fit Peyton. I'm really worried about that sweater of Shiloh's.
I think it might stretch.
It might. And if it fits Peyton, that's fine. I'll make Shiloh
Yay! I
another one.
love getting sweaters.
She
So,
does. She
but
does.
I need to make you one.
It's good to have somebody to love to knit for.
Yeah, Peyton's very knit worthy.
I still have that pink owl hat you made me, and that pink hoodie sweater.
Oh, the wallaby.
Do you remember that owl hat I made that was it had the little points, had the tassels on it, had the owl?
Mm-hmm.
She still has that.
Wow.
Yep.
It doesn't
So-
fit my head anymore.
Well,
but-
no. It's like for a baby.
It
So,
was a long time ago.
I was like 4.
I think that's all we have in the knitting sense of things. I do have the giveaway drawn. We had a giveaway for Fiber Nymph. Thank you, Lisa. The s'mores colorway. It's a self-striping s'mores colorway. We had numbers 2 through 37, and the winner was number 18, which is Cher 2014. I think it's Sherry, but she goes by Cher for short. Cher 2014. PM me your details so I can get this mailed to you. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I think we have another one to give away, but we'll wait till another podcast before we do the next one. And I had a couple of friends that sent me some really great things from overseas. I know Jennifer's a watcher, so thank you, Jennifer, for the gummy bears. They were delicious. I did share with Darlene.
she did. Thank
And-
you.
Did you all soak them in vodka?
Hmm?
Did you all soak them in vodka?
We did not soak them in vodka.
No.
Granny and my mom like doing that.
And Katja, who is a friend of mine, I believe she's in Norway, she sent me some Toffee Fay candy. I'll insert a picture of what Toffee Fay is. It's my favorite candy growing up, and it's from, Europe, Germany, Europe, that
I love
area.
it too.
But they're starting to sell it every once in a while. You can see it here in the United States. So
It's gotten
Is it?
more popular. You can get it at Walgreens, and Hobby Lobby sells it.
oh wow!
And now Hobby Lobby sells it in like, you can get it like instead of the 12-pack or whatever, you can get it in like a 3.
oh wow!
I mean, who wants just 3?
Who wants just
But-
3? I would like 400, but
Is it like that triangle chocolate candy?
No,
no, that's Toblerone.
it's. I'll show it to you. I'll get you.
I
one.
think I have some in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. But I wanted to thank her for that. And I think that's all we have podcast-wise. I felt like we had a billion things to talk about. But we do have some shop updates for anybody that doesn't want to see the shop updates. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being patient with us while we weren't podcasting and we just did that short little Cozumel thing. And thanks for checking us out. And we'll see you next time.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. And for the people that wanted to stay.
Yes.
Yes. So we do have a coupon code
Yes.
too that Carrie will insert for
Spring 15, but I will type it as I edit. I listen to myself. So
Yeah.
Carrie, insert spring 15. It's for 15% off.
So I have quite a few new bags.
Ooh.
This one is just a floral bag. And
And as always, anybody that stays and watches this, you know that I have pictures that I insert.
then this one is a
That's kind of cute.
isn't that cute? A jellyfish bag. And
I might need all these bags.
you haven't got a new bag in a long time.
I haven't. It's kind of sad.
I know. And then we have a sunflower. Just got a green lining. And then for you donut people, you like the donut one?
Yeah.
She even has a donut stitch marker on her Find Your Face.
I do.
I do. Yeah, not me. She does. I saw her earlier.
Actually, I think I have a donut on this. I have a donut on
yeah,
this.
that's what I was talking about. I was like, donut.
These are cute donuts.
They are cute.
Right.
And Bruce is like, why do you... Donuts, really? I'm like, it's so cute. So I've kind of been a little disappointed it hasn't sold well because Bruce told me it wouldn't. So I'm hoping that...
Okay, come on,
this
guys. We gotta prove Bruce wrong.
Gotta prove Bruce wrong.
I'll take 15.
Okay. And then this one I think is really cute. It's sushi. And I love the black zipper. The black zipper is so cute.
And I love sushi, so.
So, an orange
And
lining.
orange. Who doesn't love orange?
Yep.
My
Your
favorite
favorite
lining.
So I think the sushi one and the donut ones, I think they're cute.
I
think
really
they're
like the sushi one.
I do too. I really like the sushi one. And then this is just a garden. You know, it's springtime, getting to be spring, and you know,
The
gardening.
cute little rabbit.
And
Orange
So-
lining.
but
He's watering his plants.
He is watering.
Maybe they're carrots.
maybe so.
Well, I just
but-
saw some carrots and flowers and all that.
They're pretty.
Cabbage.
So there was a pretty big shop update. I mean, they're already listed, so they're already all available, and I've put them on Instagram. But this is the first time we've podcast since we made them, so I wanted to bring them.
Yeah,
So
it's been a while.
and
so.
that's it.
Yep, that's all we have. So thanks again for checking us out if you stayed this long, and we'll see you in a
And-
couple weeks.
And thank you for finally coming.
Yes,
on the
You're
podcast.
welcome.
Thank you.
I've been wanting
trying.
to come since Christmas.
I
Yeah.
know, it's
we
just-
said that
Someone
she would
did
be
a
on the New Year
podcast
one.
without me.
But it's been, just scheduling, getting everybody's
It's
on
been
everybody's
rough.
schedule. But everybody have a good 2 weeks, and we will see y'all
Bye.
again. Bye.